I want to thank everybody for coming and welcome everybody. I've seen a new side of my family this week. I generally think of my family as very quiet and introverted, but this past week I've seen another side of them. They really like to throw a party, so get ready. I feel like this party is long overdue. Michael graduated last year and has spent this past year getting ready for college. He has spent a semester at Summit Ministries in Colorado. He's continued to take his Latin classes with his beloved professor, and he reads voraciously. So we've come to this point. I get to be the king, sending him off to school on his quest for knowledge and truth. And I'll mention truth a lot as I talk. That's our theme tonight. This past year I've watched Michael mature, preparing himself for school. I've learned that I am going to miss him very much, that I depend on his judgment and his natural abilities very much. I'm very proud of him, and I look forward to seeing him continue to grow at Hillsdale College. The theme for our party today is medieval theme, a quest for truth and for knowledge. I thought of some, and again, if I emphasize truth, seeking truth, I thought of the German statesman Otto von Bismarck, who is quoted as saying, if you want to fool the world, tell the truth. And even Jesus himself in the book of John told Pontius Pilate, for this I was born, for this I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth, and that those who know the truth hear my voice. And that has guided us through our homeschool lessons year after year, as you all know. We've homeschooled children all 4 years, all four children all their lives. And we've tried to instill in them a lifelong learning mentality, to teach them to worship through their lessons, to seek the truth. I've also watched this summer and become convinced that Michael's only just begun to use his potential, to see his potential. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's time for him to go and see that he's ready to take that next step, to seek knowledge and to defend the truth at Hillsdale. So tonight, I have to say no medieval party would be complete without a bard to tell us of the deeds of a great man and the great deeds that he's done. And so Michael's going to recite tonight from G.K. Chesterton's epic poem, The Ballad of the White Horse. The Ballad of the White Horse narrates, I lost my place. The Ballad of the White Horse narrates the legendary exploits of King Alfred the Great in protecting the Christian kingdom from Wessex, from the kingdom of Wessex, from the invasion of the pagan and bloodthirsty Danes. Michael will recite for us two sections from the end of the poem. The first begins after King Alfred has rallied his three captains, Eldred, Mark, and Colin, and raised an army to fight the pagan Danish king, Guthrum, and his deadly captain, Ogier. When the battle was joined at Ethandune, the pagan Danes gained the upper hand and killed Alfred's three captains. Most of Alfred's army is driven in a rout down one side of a fork in the road, while his Gaelic forces, brought by Colin, retreat down the other fork. And here, the hope of England's freedom and Christianity is quickly ebbing away. The White Horse, in the title, on this banner is based on an important image throughout the poem. It's a massive prehistoric chalk drawing carved into a hill in England. In order to keep the horse from becoming overgrown, people in England must continually strip it of weeds and tend to its upkeep. It is on the White Horse Hill that Michael's narration opens.
Away in the waste of White Horse Down, one idle child, alone, played some small game through hours that passed, patiently plucked the grass, patiently pushed the stone. On the lean green edge forever, where the blank chalk touched the turf, the child played on, alone, divine, as a child plays on the last line that sunders sand from surf. For he dwelleth in high divisions, too simple to understand, seeing on what morn of mystery the uncreated rent the sea with roaring from the land. And through the long infant hours like days, he built one tower in vain, piled up small stones to make a town, and evermore the stones fell down, and he piled them up again. And crimson kings on Ballad towers and saints on Gothic spires, hermits on their peaks of snow and heroes on their pyres, patriots riding royally that rush the rocking town, stretch hands in hunger and aspire, seeking to mount where higher and higher the child whom time can never tire sings over White Horse Down. And this was the might of Alfred at the ending of the way, that of all such smiters, wise or wild, he was least distant from that child, piling the stones all day. For Eldred fought like a frank hunter that killeth and goeth home, and Mark fought because all arms rang like the name of Rome, and Cullen fought with a double mind, both moody and madly gay, but Alfred fought as bravely as a good child at play. He saw wheels break and work run back, and all things as they were, and his heart was orbed like victory and simple like despair. Therefore was Mark forgotten, who was wise with his tongue and brave, and the cairn on Cullen crumbled, and the cross on Eldred's grave. Their great souls went on a wind away, they have not tale or tomb. But Alfred, born in wantage, rules England till the doom. For in that forest of all fears, like a strange fresh gust from sea, struck him that ancient innocence that is more than mastery. And like a child whose bricks fall down, repiles them o'er and o'er, came ruin and the rain that burns, returning as a wheel returns. And Alfred, crouching in the furs and ferns, began his life once more. He took his ivory horn unslung and smiled, but not in scorn. Endeth the battle of Ethandune with the blowing of a horn. On a dark horse at the double way he saw great Guthrum ride, heard roar of brass and ring of steel, the laughter and the trumpet peal, the pagan in his pride. And Ogier's red and painted head moved in some talker task. But the men seemed scattered in the briar, and some of them had lit a fire, and one had broached a cask. And joyous at the sudden stay of Alfred's routed few, one sat upon a stone to sigh, still others went up the road to fly, till Alfred, in the fern hard by, put horn to mouth and blew. Then they all abode like statues, one sitting on the stone, one halfway through the thorn hedge tall, and one looked backwards, very small, far up the road alone. Gray twilight and a yellow star hung over thorn and hill. 2 spears and a cloven war shield lay loose in the road as cast away. The horn died faint in the forest gray, and the fleeing men stood still. Brothers at arms, said Alfred, on this side lies the foe, our slavery and starvation flowers, that you should pluck them so. For whether it is better to be prodded with Danish poles, having hewn a chamber in a ditch, or hounded like a howling witch, or smoked to death in holes, Or that before the red cock crows, all we 1,000 strong go down the dark road to God's house, singing a Wessex song, to sweat a slave to a race of slaves, to drink of infamy. No, brothers, by your leave, I think death is a better ale to drink, and by all Christ's stars that sink, the Danes shall drink with me, to grow old, cowed, in a conquered land, with the sun itself discrowned, to see trees crouch and cattle slink. Death is a better ale to drink, and by high death on the fell brink that flagon shall go round. Though dead be all your paladins whom glory had in kin, though all your thunder-sworded thanes with proud hearts died among the Danes, while a man remains, great war remains. Now this is a war of men, the men that tear the furrows, the men that fell the trees. When all their lords be lost and dead, the bondsmen of the earth shall tread the tyrants of the seas. Let the wheel of the roaring stillness of all labor under sun speed our wild work as well at least as the whole world's work is done. Let Hildred hack the shield wall clean as he hacks the hedge. Let Gurth the fowler stand as cool as he stands at the chasm's edge. Let Gorlias ride the sea kings as Gorlias rides the sea. Then let all hail in Denmark drive, roaring to all its fiends alive, and not a rag care we. When Alfred's word was ended, stood firm that feeble line, each man in his place with club or spear, and fury deeper than deep fear, and smiles as sour as brine. And the king held up his horn and said, See ye my father's horn, that Egbert blew in Empery, once when he rode up commonly, twice when he rode for venery, and thrice on the battle morn. But heavier fates have fallen, the horns of the Wessex kings, and I blew once the riding sign to call you all to the fighting line in glory and good things. And now 2 blasts, the hunting sign, because we turn to bay. But I will not blow the 3 blasts till we be lost or they. And now I blow the hunting sign, charge some by rule and rod. But when I blow the battle sign, charge all and go to God. Wild stared the Danes at the double way, where they loitered all at large, as that dark line for the last time doubled the need to charge, and caught their weapons clumsily, and marveled how and why, in such degree by rule and rod, the people of the peace of God went roaring down to die. And when the last arrow was fitted and was flown, the broken war shield put on rest, the hopeless lance laid in rest, and the hopeless horn blown, the king looked up, and what he saw was a great light like death. Our Lady stood where the standards rent, as lonely and as innocent as when between white walls she went from the lilies of Nazareth. One instant, in a still light, he saw Our Lady then. Her dress as soft as western sky, and she was a queen most womanly, but she was a queen of men. Out o'er the iron forest he saw Our Lady stand. Her eyes were sad without an art, and 7 swords were in her heart, but one was in her hand. Then the last charge went blindly, and all too lost for fear. 20 clubs rose o'er the king, and 4 Danes hewed at him, hallowing an augur of the stone and sling, drove at him with a spear. But the Danes were wild with laughter, and the great spear swung wide. The point stuck to a straggling tree, and either host cried suddenly as Alfred sprang aside. Short time had Shaggy Augur to pull his lance in line. He knew King Alfred's axe on high. He heard it rushing through the sky. He cowered beneath it with a cry. It split into the spine, and Alfred leapt o'er him dead and blew the battle sign. Then bursting all and blasting came Christendom like death. Kicked up such catapults of will, the staves shivered, the barrels spilled, the wagons waver and crash and kill the wagoners beneath. Barriers go backwards, banners rend, great shields groan like a gong, horses like horns of nightmare neigh horribly, and long. Horses ramp high and rock and boil and break their golden reins, and slide on carnage clamorously down where the bitter blood doth lie, where Aegir went on foot to die in the old way of the Danes. The high tide, King Alfred cried, the high tide in the turn. See how they waver in the trees, how stray their spears, how knock their knees, how wild their watchfires burn. The Mother of God goes over them, walking on wind and flame. The white horse stamps in the white horse vale, and we all yet shall drink Christian ale in the village of our name. The Mother of God goes over them on dreadful cherubs borne. The psalm is roaring o'er the room, the cross goes over the sun and moon. Endeth the battle of Ethandune with the blowing of a horn. For back indeed disorderly the Danes went clamoring, too worn to take anew the tale, or dazed with insolence or ale, or stunned of heaven, or stricken pale before the face of the king. For dire was Alfred in his hour, the pale scribe derisive. More mighty in defeat was he than all men else in victory. And behind his men came murderously dry-throated, drinking death. And highest sang the slaughter, and fastest fell the slain, when from the wood road's blackening throat a crowning and a crashing wonder smote the rear guard of the Dane. For the dregs of Cullen's company lost down the other road had gathered and grown and heard the din, and with wild yells came pouring in, naked as their old British kin and bright with blood for woad. And bare and bloody in the loft they bore before their band the body of their mighty lord, Cullen of Carleon, and its horde that bore King Alfred's battle sword broken in its left hand. And a strange music went with him, loud and yet strangely far, and the wild pipes of the western land sang high and deathly on either hand when the dead man went to war. Locked between ghost and buccaneer, brave men have dropped and died. Well might the wild sea lords quail as the ghastly war pipes of the gale called to the horns of the white horse vale, and all the horns replied. Then Hildred, the poor hedger, laid down three captains low, and Halmar laid three others low, and the great earls wavered to and fro, the living and the dead. And Gorlias grasped the great flag, the raven of Odin torn, and the eyes of Guthrum altered for the first time since morn. As a turn of the wheel of tempest tilts up the whole sky tall, and walls of wan cloud luminous lean out like great cliffs over us as if the heavens might fall. As such a tall and tilted sky sends certain snow or light, so did the eyes of Guthrum change, and the turn was more terrible and more strange than 1,000 men in flight. For not to the floor the skies is split, and hellfire shines through the sea. To the stars look up through the rent earth's knees, amidst such rending of certainties as when one wise man truly sees what is more wise than he. He set his horse in the battle breach, even Guthrum of the Dane, as ever had fallen fell his brand, a falling tower o'er many a land, till Gurth the Fowler laid one hand upon this bridal rein. King Guthrum was a great king, and higher than his gods. He put the popes to laughter, he chid the saints with rods. He took this hollow world of ours as a cup to hold his wine. In Wessex in the forest there came to him a sign. In Wessex in the forest, in the breaking of the spears, we set a sign on Guthrum that lays 1,000 years. Where the high saddles jostle and the horse tails toss, there rose to the birds flying, deafness and strong crying, the roar of dead and dying. We signed him with the cross. Far out to the winding river, the blood flowed down for days when we put the cross on Guthrum at the ending of the ways.
that say? It was an epic poem. Come on in, people are standing up. Always come on in. Following. One of these to our table over here. Yeah, you guys can walk over. Dana's waiting for you up
Is
here.
there a certain
Come on up front. Come on up front. I love it. And so following Alfred's victory in the Battle of Ethandune, the Danish king Guthrum converts to Christianity, and Wessex is safe for a while. I will now recite from the very end of the poem, where Alfred, in his old age, orders the white horse be stripped of weeds and gives a prophecy about the future of Christendom.
It fell in the days of Alfred, in the days of his repose, that as old customs in his sight were a straight road and a steady light, he bade them keep the white horse white as the first plume of the snows. And right to the red torchlight, from the trouble of morning gray, they strip the white horse of the grass as they strip it to this day. And under the red torchlight, even dreaming as though dull, of his old companions, slain like kings in the rich, irrevocable things of a heart that hath not openings, but is shut, being full. Torchlight touched the pale hair where silver clouded gold. The frame of his face was made of cords. And the young lord turned among the lords and said, "The king is old." And even as he said it, a host broke in amain, crying, "On, Lord King, the hamlet's on, for the horror and the shade of harm. They have burnt brand of Agner's farm. The Danes are come again. Danes drive the east white angles in 6 fights on the plains. Danes waste the world above the Thames. Danes to the eastward, Danes!" And even as he said, and as he stumbled on one knee, the thanes broke out in ire, crying, "Ill the watchmen watch, and ill the sheriffs keep the shire." But the young lord said, "Ill the saints of England